Hello and welcome to the third part of What If Deku was transported to Danmachi. And unfortunately, I forgot about the first attack where Ain saves Bell from the first Minotaur attack thing. Yeah, the beginning of the Bell anime part thing. Yeah. So let's just say that happened while Deku was getting to. Well, that happened before Deku got transported. I'm just gonna retcon. This happened before he got transported before. I think that's what I said in the first episode. But yeah, so Deku, Ainz, and Bell are training. Deku gets his nickname. I'm not sure exactly what to put as his code name, nickname thing. I'm not sure if I'm gonna keep it Deku, but I'll think of one for the 5th episode, if that ever does come out. So basically, they are training, and Bell gets stronger as a level 2 adventurer. He doesn't train because in this, let's just say Bell got stronger by himself, asking for help from Gareth. That's why you don't necessarily see him, and Gareth is there with Bet holding him back. So, because instead of Ainz training him, Gareth trained him. So now Bell is being trained by two more of agility and strength than what Gareth is. So they're training, and Deku comes up with Typhoon when Bell was firing fireballs trying to hit Deku. He's like, I should probably think of a way to counter these sort of attacks. And he comes up with, what was it called? Sorry about this, guys. The Typhoon from Koda's feud with Hero sent him in a storm of hatred, sadness, and revenge. Typhoon, he shouts out, and blocks and counters Bell's attack. And then Ainz being surprised that he came up with yet another new spell. She's like, I honestly should not be surprised at this point. It's kind of common for him to get new abilities and new spells and stuff like that. So the icicle retcon, me saying icicle. So they go down into the dungeon one day with Bell, and Deku and Bell go down, and they are on the 14th floor where I said that he came up with thermal fluctuation, and they are fighting 5 salamanders being overrun basically, but they're trying to get Deku and Bell more trained up, because Bell and Deku are like technically still, they're both level 2, I guess. But Deku is, as you know, a very fast learner, even though he spent 3 seasons not realizing that he has legs. And I think 2 seasons. It took him 2 seasons to float throughout his body, so not the fastest, but he's a fast learner nonetheless. So he's getting stronger faster. And his skills, well, his base stats are right now at level 2A rank and B rank. Like the agility, strength, and endurance are A rank right now in level 2, and dexterity and magic are, well, dexterity is in a B, and believe it or not, magic is at a double S because of his magical ability, because he's been practicing using those so he can get better at it. While fighting the salamanders, Ainz is just back there making sure they don't die on her. So he thinks of what is the best way to combat a salamander. It's not like fire v fire. My fire isn't going to be that useful against something that is literally flame resistant. So he comes out with a bright idea of freezing ice cold hatred for hellfire, ice barrage, and frozen lance, as you can see there on the screen. So he does that, and he takes out 2 of the salamanders, while Belle is taking out 1 of the other salamanders. So now there's only 2 more salamanders. The one salamander rushes towards Belle, and the other rushes towards Deku. Deku jumps out the way, jumping towards the salamander going after Belle, kicking it in its neck and rolling it over on its back so it has to get back on its feet, and turns around while Belle is firing another firebolt, making the other salamander that was after Deku flinch, and Deku uses Koda's feud with Hero sent him. Well, he uses Typhoon and Rainstorm bullets at the same time, like he did with Icicle Lance, Ice Barrage, and Frozen Lance. Because I don't want to make it like very clear that I'm copying Icicle Lance from that time I was reincarnated as a slime. Because I see that I'm like, oh shoot, I shouldn't do that. So I'm like, Frozen Lance. Okay, but yeah. So they, that kills the one salamander. And while they're trying to figure out a way to get Deku out, because he's currently running low on magic and strength, he jumps towards Ainz, and Belle is picking up, well, trying to move the other stones away from the fight so they don't get scorched or something like that. So Ainz gives Deku a mana potion, and he drinks that, and he uses Almighty Pulverizer, pulverizing the skull of the salamander. Not like sending a hole through its face, it's just like very big dent breaking its skull and brain, making it poof away like the other monsters they collect the stones, and now they are heading back because Belle is tired and Deku is still kind of running low. And Ainz is there's like laughing at both of them because he's like, you guys might be weak, but you're getting there, eh? You're gonna be strong adventurers someday. Belle being encouraged and Deku being somewhat happy that Ainz is taking after his thought process, I guess you could call it. So once they get back to the top, Deku realizes that some of his clothes are scorched because during the first part of the battle he used heat-cold fluctuation, Todoroki's ultimate strength, thermal resistance, as you saw on the power magic spell list. I'm not sure I'm going to give him any more, because that's just going to be even more OP, I guess. But Deku's like very good at controlling his magic for some reason. No one knows why, not even me. But anyway, so that happens, and they come back to the surface, and the next day, well, okay, so there comes another week of slight training because they don't want to overdo themselves. And they, they go to the Monsterphilia. Belle does his own thing, like in canon, where he's being chased around by the silverback monkey. And Deku and Ainz are with Loki walking around. So they basically just, they do that. They go on their own mission, killing monsters and stuff like that. And they run upon Belle fighting the silverback, and Deku being impressed at his extreme growth throughout the years, throughout the days, and is very proud of him. Ainz is too. She's just wondering why Deku's smirking. And I was like, what are you smirking about? No, nothing. He's just keeping up with me, being smug. Like, it's unusual for him to be smug, but he's being smug because he wants to be like, new world, new life, let's do something crazy. So after that, they drag the crystal to the Crystal, Belle, and Hestia, because if you've watched the anime, you know what Hestia is doing. She's fell asleep because she was working so hard. So they take them to not their place, because then there's a goddess in another goddess's place. So they take him to forgot what that bar was. Jeez. But yeah, they take him to the bar. Everything happens as normal. Belle and Ainz, they're getting a relationship. Like, it is visibly seen throughout the Loki Familia guild. Familia. Loki being jealous because she's like, I've known her for longer. Nothing's gonna happen, like, serious, but they're just gonna have a bit of a scuffle of words against each other. Just fighting over Ainz, and Ainz is just in the background blushing as all hell, because just blushing as all hell. So, after a few scuffles, Bell wants to progress by himself because he doesn't want to rely on Deku and Ainz's help all the time. So he sets off on his own journey, and everything goes for him as normal. Like he meets Wolf Crozo, and when Deku gets a notification, aka he got an envelope to tell him about there's going to be a big dungeon raid, and I will talk about that in the next episode. Thank you for watching, and I hope you can forgive me for being very explanatory and not that good at doing this type of work. So thank you for anyone who's actually watching, and I will appreciate every bit of support I will ever get in my life.